Hello again, everyone. My name is Jamia, and welcome back to my channel. I am so glad you're here. I missed you guys. Hope you're having a good day. I did. I got off work early. So earlier today, and I think yesterday too, I had posted on my social media platforms. I was asking you guys, if you had any questions about like foster care, therapeutic foster care, then feel free to ask me about it. And a lot of you did. So just to give a little background about myself, I work at a therapeutic foster care program, and that's within a youth development agency. So my position is what I meant to say. I am the therapeutic foster care case aide. So I don't really have a primary job duty. I'm very much a jack of all trades there. I do everything from paperwork to counseling, pretty much, to staffing, to training. I assist with the social workers and our coordinator there. And yeah. So a lot of you guys have been, just saying to me within the past few days that you've seen that I talk about fostering a lot on my pages. And I do, because I'm always promoting, my agency and recruiting for foster parents. So that, of course, made me, reach out and ask you guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. And you guys did. And I'm so happy that you did. So let's get started. So I pulled up some of your questions here. I have my laptop with me, so I'm going to be reading the questions off of it. It feels so weird. Like, I haven't been on any of my social media platforms on my laptop in a long time. I always have it on my phone, on my iPad, and it feels like weird being on it now. It's like a stalker or something, like a creep. Okay, so the first question: what is the difference between therapeutic and traditional foster care? Good question. So what qualifies a child to be considered therapeutic is the diagnosis that they have, and those diagnoses will be found in the DSM-5. With these diagnoses, our children may be provided, they must be provided with advanced care and services from our team, and our team includes like DHR, the TFC agency, counselors, psychiatrists if needed, any other form of counseling that's needed, like speech therapy or something like that, and also you as a foster parent. So before I go on to the rest of the questions, I just want to clarify something. Okay, so I live in the state of Alabama, unfortunately. So these rules, policies, regulations, all of that are within the state of Alabama only. I'm not going to say only, I don't know. But if you're outside of Alabama, then you may want to reach out to your local or surrounding agencies and ask questions so you can be knowledgeable on, what your state requires regarding foster parenting or adopting. So, moving on. What is the difference between foster parents and adoptive parents? So a foster parent is someone who cares for a child temporarily until they are able to be reunited with their biological family. But an adoptive parent provides care permanently for that child. So this, of course, is in the case if the parents have been denied custody of the child, or if they cannot or choose not to have any kind of involvement with their child, then you would be their forever home and their forever parents. What are the requirements for becoming a therapeutic foster parent? Ooh, it's a lot. So you must be at least 25 years old. All household members in the household must have a background check ran on them. Yes, even children. All household members 14 and older must have a CAN report on them. So a CAN report, a CAN report is child and neglect. So the background check is just check your background on some criminal shit. CAN report is to check your background if you have some criminal shit against children. All household members must have a medical physical. With that comes TB skin test for all household members. And the flu shot. Now, with the flu shot, let me break it down. So, I know everybody does not get the flu shot. I've never had the flu shot. Sue me. So, it's not a mandatory thing for our agency. So, if you do choose to get the flu shot, all you have to do is just provide documentation that you got the flu shot. If you did not want to get the flu shot, or if you... Y'all, my ring light keeps going off, and I don't know why. If you do not want to get the flu shot, or if you cannot get the flu shot due to health or medical reasons, all you have to do is get your professional healthcare provider to write up a letter, type up a letter, explaining that you choose not to, or explaining why you cannot get the flu shot. And just sign and date it, and you're Gucci. Next thing, you must have at least 3 references that can vouch for you being a decent foster parent. They cannot be related to you by blood or by marriage. You will... What the... Let's try this again. Next, you must complete and send us a financial statement. And this is just a document where you elaborate on your income and all of that. And this is just for us to view it and know that, whether or not you will be able, yes, she'll be able to financially provide for this child, or hell no, she ain't ready to, she can't handle it. You will have to complete a, what is that called? A home study. You have to complete a home study inspection, and then you'll have to complete some training. And it's either going to be tips training or it's going to be another training, but I will elaborate on that a little later on. You must also be CPR certified, and you must also be NCI certified. Now, NCI just means nonviolent crisis intervention. So it's just a training where you learn how to de-escalate a feisty child who's physically rowdy, and you just de-escalate them in a non-violent way. So, put them in a headlock, slamming them down, putting them through a wall, nothing like that. You must have updated home insurance, updated car insurance, valid driver's license, and if you're a married couple, you have to be married at least 1 year. That was a lot, shit. But we're gonna move on to the next question. Is it okay if I have children of my own? Absolutely. It's perfectly fine if you have kids of your own and you still want to foster. Just make sure that first you communicate that you want to foster with the rest of your household, and also make sure that they know and understand what a therapeutic child can come with. What if I have a criminal background? You can still be a therapeutic foster parent if you have a criminal background, unless you have crimes against children, sex crimes, spousal abuse, or violent crimes such as rape, sexual assault, robbery, burglary, or murder. Can I foster with more than one agency? Nah. What training is required to become a therapeutic foster parent? Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I was going to elaborate on that, but I'm glad you asked. So, like I said, there are two different options. Not that you have a choice, is what we want you to take, pretty much. So, the first option with the training is called TIPS training, and TIPS is the most popular one that we have. So, TIPS stands for Trauma-Informed Partnering for Safety and for Maintenance. So TIPS is it's about 3 to 4 hours for 8 to 10 weeks. So that kind of rounds up to about 30-ish hours in total. And it's kind of like a class, so it's set up in a classroom, and it's set like for a fixed time. So I think, if I can remember correctly, the last tips that we had was from 3:30 to 7:30. Yeah. And when you're in tips, there will be at least 2 home visits. So the teacher in the class, which is usually for our agency, is usually our coordinator or the licensing specialist. So one of them, who either or, they will make home visits to 2 students in the class, and that can also be training hours. So you're gonna have at least 2 home visits, and then along with that, it's going to be an additional 10 hours of specialized training. The next option of training is called Deciding Together, and it's the not so popular one. This training is held in person in one-on-one sessions between the foster family and the social worker within the agency that you're trying to foster with. There are, I want to say, 6, I believe. There's 6 workbooks that you as a foster parent will have to complete, and you have to complete them in, like, I want to say 6 or 7 sessions. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this training requires a minimum of 2 in-home sessions with the family, and I think it's 2. Like, the reason I said Deciding Together is not really favored is because it's a really self-paced training, so it can take a very, very long time to complete this training. Whereas, like I said before, TIPS is like in the classroom setting, and there's a fixed time, 8 to 10 weeks. So 8 to 10 weeks, either or, you'll be done. But with the other training, is whenever you want to get your shit together. Next question. Will I be able to specify the age and gender of the child I would like to care for? Yes. Yes, you can. How long does the child stay in the foster home? The child stays in your foster home as long as you want that child in your foster home. The length of the time a child stays in a foster home depends on a few things. 1, that child. 2, that child's behavior. And 3, how much that foster parent can handle that child and that child's behavior. So with my agency, and I think other agencies do this as well, we have a period called pre-placement. So pre-placement is when a child is placed in a foster home for 2 to 3 days. And during this time, the foster parent is kind of like, or supposed to be like, scoping out the child. So notifying the child's behavior, notifying the child's trigger warnings, notifying how the child handles his anger or handles her frustration, the anxiety, all of that. And also the foster parent should be contemplating on whether or not they wish to keep this child as their foster parent, as their foster child, or if they don't think it'll work. So when the pre-placement is done, that very next day is considered a potential intake. So this is where the foster parent says yay or nay. Yay, I would like to keep this child as my foster child, or nay, I don't think this shit gonna work out. Next question. Can I adopt a foster child that is placed in my home? Oh, adopting your foster child it's very much possible, not guaranteed, and it's a very touchy situation. So the main purpose of a child being in foster care is to be reunited with their family. However, if the parents' parental rights have been terminated, then adoption would be the next thing. But with that, the foster parent would not be the first in line for that. Usually DHR would reach out to like extended family members to see if the child can be adopted by a family member. And if that fails, then yes, the foster parent can stand up and say, I would like to adopt my foster child. I've seen it happen many times at my job, and I swear to God, it's a beautiful thing. Can I reject a child's placement? Yeah. I mean, even though it's our job to like match a child with the foster parent that we think would be fitting, you as the foster parent will always have the last word. So if you no longer want the child in your home, just hit us up. Say, hey, well, we require a 30-day notice. So you just hit us up and say, hey, this isn't working out. You know, I like to put my 30-day notice in. Boom. The child's out of your home. Can I still work at my job as a foster parent? Absolutely. We don't ever stop the coin flow. How many children can I foster at a time? You can only foster one child at a time unless they are a part of a sibling group. So if they are a part of a sibling group, because DHR and us want to keep the siblings together despite the fact that, you know, your foster kid or the kid is in our program may be considered therapeutic, but their siblings not, they're still together. So if you would like that, yes, you can have a sibling group. But if they're not a sibling group, you can only have one child. What will my interaction be? Okay, we had a little typos, but it's okay. So I'm guessing it's asking, what will my interaction be with the birth parents? Yes. So reunification with the biological family is the primary goal for children in our program. Therefore, DHR, state, and TFC, which is us, we require our children to have regular contact with their family. And this includes phone calls and in-person visitations. But all of this will be planned and arranged prior to this child entering your home as their foster parent. So, with that being said, in other words, you don't have any say-so in whether or not the child talks to his mom or her mom or his grandma and his granddad. Like, you don't have to say so. Despite the fact that you might not like them, they ain't got nothing to do with you. You don't have a say so. They have to talk to their family. However, as far as you, yourself, as a foster parent, having interactions with the family, that's up to you. You know, you're not required to do that. It's just required for the child to do that. If you want to communicate and interact with the child's family, please feel free. Please feel free. If you rather not, you don't have to. No biggie. All right. So the next question is, can I find out more about the child I am planning on fostering? You can. It's a limited amount with my agency. It's a limited amount that you can have access to. And this is just, of course, you know, confidentiality for the child and protecting us as an agency since we have the child's case. So there is a good piece of information that you can read yourself. We were doing so well. Alrighty. Can the child be from a different cultural background than my own? So what, will like your ancestors beat your ass if you get a child of a different race than you or something? Or a different cultural background than you? Yes, you can get a child of a different racial background than you. It's highly encouraged, actually, because, you know, you can learn from them, apparently, and they can learn from you. And actually, it's against federal law to deny a child into your home based only and strictly on race and national origin. Don't be a racist. I'm sorry if the person who asked that question is out there. If you meant well, it's okay. I apologize if I came off aggressive, but you got your answer, so let's move on. What is the age range? I need glasses. What is the age range of the children in your agency? When I first started, it was like, I think it said 3 to 21. However, from actual experience of being there, I would say 3 to 17. No, 3 to 18. Because right now, Our youngest baby is 4 years old, and our oldest baby is 18 years old. And I remember our agency getting 19, 20, and 21-year-old referrals, and they were all denied. Why? I don't know. I'm just the case aide. No shade, no shade. No, how many more questions are there? Oh, this is the last one. Okay. If I have been selected as a therapeutic foster parent and have completed all of my required training, what's next? Take a wild guess. We are going to throw a child into your home and you're going to welcome it with open goddamn arms. But I can break it down, the process. So, yes, you will get a child in your home, and usually how it works with my agency. So, all of the referrals come from DHR, and DHR sends the referrals to our coordinator. And so our coordinator will review the referrals, review everything that DHR sends. So it's going to be, the child's name, age, race, and the summary of the child. So then our coordinator is going to call us in, the staff, and we're going to discuss it, and we're going to discuss who we think this child what foster parent this child would fit in. So once we came to a decision, really, she's like a judge. So really, it's like, what we think she's going to put the child where she sees fits anyway. 9 times out of 10, she does take our concerns and our words into consideration. So I won't be so shady. So next, the coordinator will reach out to the foster parent that she selects will be a good fit for the child, and she will inform the foster parent about the child's age, race, and gender, and she will proceed to tell the foster parent about the diagnosis that the child has. And yeah, and the foster parent pretty much says yay, nay, or I'll think about it. However, my advice would be for the foster parent, you as a foster parent, I would advise you to, despite the coordinator calling and tell you about the child, I would advise you to ask if you could visit the office, visit the agency, and ask, could you read that little piece of information that you have access to? You want to read that, because information that's given by word of mouth, some things can be left out, and you don't want to be surprised. That's all I'm saying. Okay, well, y'all asked a lot of damn questions, and I am very damn happy. But this concludes. However, again, if you still have more questions that was not addressed in this video, please feel free to ask me. Or if you're not in my state, feel free to reach out to your local or surrounding agencies. I will be more than happy to assist you, and they will be more than happy to assist you. So I am going to end the video right here. And again, I want to say thank you guys so very much for continuing to support me, show me love. All of that is greatly appreciated. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Bye.